Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here today once again to talk about a new movie. Well, it's new, but I didn't see it in theaters for obvious reasons. Unhinged. I was really looking forward to this movie. I mean, ever since I saw the trailer and I sort of heard what the premise of the movie was, I was really excited. I thought this is going to be really fun. Russell Crowe's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man. And it's it's fine. It's okay. Once again I'm doing my cool duder impression. It's okay. Shout out to people who've watched Cool Duder before. He used to be my favorite YouTuber. He's the reason why I do YouTube, actually, because of his around the town videos, all those old videos he did. Anyway, this movie Unhinged, it's basically about this woman and her son, and they're driving along, and there's this guy at a stoplight, and he's just sitting there like a doofus. And so she just goes, just honks at him like a mad woman, like a Karen. And then when he comes up to her, he's like, "You know what? I'm willing to let that go if you'll just apologize. And I'm sorry myself. And so you apologize now, ma'am." And she's like, "No! I have nothing to apologize for." And it's funny because I looked up and the actress's name is Karen. I thought that's hilarious. That's really funny. I don't know if the casting director did that on purpose. I mean, she did a good job. I liked her. I liked the son, even though the son wasn't in very much of the movie. I liked Russell Crowe okay. I just think the biggest problem with this movie is the script. I say that for a lot of films. The reason is if you want to know the truth about movie scripts nowadays, you could look up any video on script writing, screenwriters talking. Movie scripts get rewritten more times than you could imagine. I mean, the first draft, obviously no one's going to have a good first draft. I did my first draft and it was really good, but it clearly had some issues. And but with movies nowadays, I could imagine for Unhinged, it must have gone through eight, nine rough drafts or whatever, just 8, 9 versions. And that really wears down the story. Because the concept is basically everyone has a breaking point, so you shouldn't rage out on them like she did and just honk at them like that, because you never know, they could be at their breaking point that day. But I think actually that it's kind of flawed, because that's a part of a bigger problem. Because to be honest, what I think is the issue is why people reach a breaking point in the first place. Why should they have to reach this ultimate breaking point level where they just go insane and kill everybody? It's just kind of ridiculous, because, come on, man. This movie doesn't really demonstrate that at all either. I mean, it kind of does for the main woman. I'm just going to call her Karen. I can't even remember her name. I remember the son's name is Kyle. Because Russell Crowe kept on saying, "Kyle, Kyle, is Kyle there? Is Kyle your son's name? Is Kyle at school?" It was really funny. I mean, the movie doesn't really, elaborate on that at all. I mean, basically, the movie is very rushed. I mean, it just starts and then stops, and that's it. It's very rushed. It's very, very, paper thin. Paper thin and sort of one-dimensional. It tries. It really tries. I mean, it was a good attempt. It was a good effort. But I think overall it was kind of mediocre. I mean, there's so many things to discuss. I mean, so many things. I mean, first off, you got Russell Crowe. And first off, if you want to take this movie seriously, you got to get rid of Russell Crowe because, I mean, he was doing a really good job, but I mean, to be honest, I think that Unhinged could be closely compared to The Fanatic. Like, I would say that Unhinged is 2020's Fanatic. It's trying to be the serious movie, but it's just very, very over the top and funny. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's fine. It's really funny because this whole year, I've actually looked like Russell Crowe in this movie. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm going to put a picture up. It's really weird. I promise I'm not like him at all. I do have to take some pills and I have to take some antibiotics, but that's for something else. But yeah, I mean, his character, he's kind of trash. I mean, he's a trash character. I think that he had some good acting moments, but yeah, way too over the top to take seriously. And then the main woman, Karen, I think she did an okay job. I mean, she did not annoy me as much as I thought that she would, because usually in these types of movies, the main character gets really annoying because they're just so whiny and crybabyish, and she's not really that crybabyish. She's not that annoying. And then the son, I mean, he's hardly in the movie. He's just kind of meh. Everything about this movie is meh. I mean, and another thing is like, we've seen this type of movie before. Someone's on the road, someone follows them, shit goes down. But the thing is that this movie makes it worse because this movie is trying to make a point about everyone. And it fails because the only people that we're really interested in are the main three characters. And so it's like, why would I care about this stupid message? Because it's like, I don't care about her brother, I don't care about her mother, I don't care about anybody except for the three people. And then, this movie is full of cliches. I mean, this movie should not have been called Unhinged. It should have been called Cliched. I mean, there are so many cliches. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, the biggest cliche that irritated me was really just a web of cliches. I know that sounds weird, but like, at the beginning, I hate it when movies do this, where the movie at the beginning, they talk about something, and then that thing is later used in the movie as this very important plot point, and that is done over and over and over and over and over again. It's done with objects, it's done with people, it's done with places, it's done with things, it's done with ideas. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's like, why? Just stop. Just stop. I hated that. Like, I'm going to say it in the spoilers, but it just kept on annoying me because it's like, I like these characters. I'm entertained. I'm into the movie. But it's like, it's so, like, really? Like, just so paint by numbers. So red box rental type of movie that this is. This is a red box rental. Get it for $1, return it the next day. forget about it in a couple of days. You know, it's unfortunate because it could have been a very scary, creepy, good movie. I mean, you want to talk about what this movie could have been. I got a little movie for you guys called Road Games from 1980. It's an Australian movie. Russell Crowe is Australian, so he better know this movie. If he's watching, dude, you gotta watch Road Games, because it's this movie, but good. It's basically about this trucker who's taking meat across Australia because there's like a meat shortage going on. And he goes to this one rest stop, and there he basically discovers a serial killer. And the serial killer takes an interest to him and starts following him, and it gets there. It is intense, it's suspenseful, it's creepy, it's unsettling. It creeped me out, to be honest. There were a lot of creepy moments, a lot of very scary moments, moments of like isolation, and you know, the only difference is that it didn't have that stupid message that this movie had. You know, the message about everyone has a breaking point, you shouldn't really mess with people, you know, you never know. You don't need that, because it's like, that is a different movie. This movie is Road Games. This movie is not some other movie that you could have made with a better script, with like a better script in terms of like, because also, like, Russell Crowe, he already got Unhinged before the movie even started. I mean, I'm gonna rate this movie. I have no idea to rate this movie, to be honest, because it's just so average. I mean, I guess I could give it a... I'm gonna give this movie a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and that's being generous. I'll say the peanut butter is Russell Crowe and the jelly is Karen. And then the bread is the son. See, you guys... You see how these ratings go sometimes. They're just ridiculous. But it is true. I mean, they are the elements that hold this movie together. If it did not have those three people in it, this movie would have been suck. Would have been worst movie of the effing year. But yeah, spoiler alert. I don't know. I'm happy, but at the beginning of the movie, he kills his wife. He already got unhinged at the beginning of the movie. This isn't a guy who breaks after she honks at him, and he has this realization where he breaks, and it's really tragic because it's like this family man, and you know, he just breaks and he kills everyone. It's really heartbreaking. No, in the opening scene of the movie, he's killing his wife and his wife's new husband or boyfriend or whatever with a hammer. And then he burns his house down. And apparently there's on the news says he had drug problems too. And so it's like, what? That completely goes against the premise of the movie. There's two ideas here that conflict. Number one, don't mess with people. That's the idea that this movie goes with, because Russell Crowe, you know, you would not want to honk your horn at him if you knew what he had done at the opening scene. But then the second idea is anyone has a breaking point. He already had his breaking point, so that does not work. He did not break when she honked her horn at him. He broke when he killed the fucking couple. And so it's like, you know, that just completely explodes this movie. You know, Karen never breaks, the son never breaks, no one else in the movie ever breaks, no one else in the movie ever gets unhinged. In fact, another issue I had too, spoiler alert, I'm going to continue with spoilers now. Most of the kills in this movie aren't even caused by Russell Crowe. I mean, it's just by random people driving on the street and go ramp, just run over people left and right. Like, it's ridiculous. The movie's pretty violent. I'll give it that. I like that. I like some moments. I liked. It's hard to sort of sort through all the garbage because you know how I am, but there are some good moments here or there, but the movie's so rushed. I mean, it just has this rushed feel to it, whereas, like, with Road Games, that movie felt very, very open to just go on as long as it needed to. And another movie you could compare this with is The Hitcher. And I had a lot of problems with The Hitcher because the movie was rated R, and it didn't have any fucking violence in it, and that pissed me off. But with this movie, you know, at least it has violence. I'll give it that. Like, at least I'm watching an R-rated movie with violence in it. I mean, finally. But, I mean, there's just... And let's talk about the cliche thing. At the beginning of the movie, she's using candy cane scissors. At the end of the movie, that's what she uses to kill him. At the beginning of the movie, you have this little courtesy tap exchange. And that's the line that she uses after she kills him. I mean, come on, who wrote this? A fucking sixth grader? And then, you know, you have the Fortnite strategy. Oh, Dad, I'm coming up with a new strategy in Fortnite. At the end of the movie, hey, son, we can use the Fortnite strategy to get that guy. And then, at the beginning of the movie, he kills his wife and the husband. And then we find out that the divorce lawyer that, I don't know, that there's something connected to that. And so he kills the divorce lawyer because because the same thing happened with his wife where she divorced him and then she took all his stuff from him because she's probably a feminazi bitch. And we gotta connect that. And we gotta connect this and that. Oh yeah, at the beginning of the movie, that guy was talking about the mom's house and how he can't find his way around. Let's use that at the end of the movie. I mean, do you see what I mean? The annoyance that would have? Like, just this constant, like, ping-ponging, like, oh yeah, isn't that convenient? Isn't that nice? It's annoying. It's truly annoying. It's disappointing because I think this movie could have been the best movie of the year. Unfortunately, it's not as good as I wanted it to be, but still, I would say it's pretty good. I would say that it's worth a watch if you're bored, if it's a rainy day like this. You know, obviously, it's unfortunate because the message is confused, and the message could have come across in a better movie, with a better script. You know, the idea that everyone has a boiling point. You know, that is pretty scary if you really think about it. But, you know, I think that it needs a much more intelligent script. Possibly like a TV show where you can have like multiple people reaching their breaking points. You know, Breaking Bad. They're gonna break bad on the show. Yeah. Besides that, the movie, I would say that also, I really don't know where to rank the movie because, on one hand, it is enjoyably bad at some points. It's got a lot of, like, comedy that's not, I don't think, is meant to be comedy. You know, I was laughing my ass off at Russell Crowe. I could not take him seriously at all. I thought that he was a joke, he was a buffoon. There were some moments where I kind of started to take it, but I couldn't. Because I had already seen these moments where he's like, yeah, hey son, I'm gonna make this face where he kept making this face where he kept showing his, like, bottom teeth, and he's like, look, I'm a werewolf, It's like, what are you doing? this movie had a lot of missed opportunities too, to be honest, because, as I said, the movie's very rushed, and so it just seems like the movie wants to end as soon as possible. And unfortunately, when you have a movie with the idea that it has, which is very epic in scale, it doesn't work well when the movie is rushed and when it's this tiny little movie with a couple of characters. You know, if you have an idea like that, it needs to be a actual big story that really comes through in the end. That's all I gotta say. If you like this video, please like it, thumbs it up, comment, subscribe, all that crap the YouTubers tell you to do. Goodbye, everybody!